responsibility to Austin and the community to investigate what clearly, in my eyes, there is a potential for a violation here.
Go ahead.
I echo that. It doesn't feel right to me to not really hear our community. And I say this acknowledging that, you know, if we go to a final hearing, that it's work. I can certainly understand, Mr. Fisher, that I can appreciate from your perspective that that's not, you know, that's more work for you. But I'm really, one, just definition-wise, I think I have expressed it clearly that I feel that that this case meets the definitions, at least, and supporting what Commissioner Williams said, that at this point, our standard is reasonable grounds that it could occur, you know, for the affected to occur. But aside from fulfilling or meeting the criteria in here, the part that's tugging at me is what do we have to lose aside from Mr. Fisher's extra work, but what do we have to lose when the complainant wants to do the work, and if it turns out that, you know, the evidence and whatnot is not sufficient for, you know, for the final determination, as in like the final outcome. But I feel strongly with Commissioner Tanayuka that we, aside from meeting the definition, we owe it to our community when people have come here, taken their time to come here and express. And I don't have an opinion because I'm not aware of that meeting. I don't have an opinion with that. But what I'm hearing is there are many community members who showed up and who made it known. And what I'm hearing is a beseechment from our community. It's please just look into it. They're not. I didn't hear, please find them guilty of this. Please at least look into it and not dismiss it right off. So I could not, it would, if this motion fails, I feel personally disappointed.
I appreciate that. Commissioners, are there any other comments, discussion on the motion? All right, then we can proceed to a vote. I'll go in the order that it is listed on the agenda. And this is on a motion by Secretary Stanton, seconded by Commissioner Tanayuka, to find that reasonable grounds exist to believe that a violation has occurred. Chair Sobran, I vote nay. Commissioner Casto.
Nay.
Commissioner Williams.
I support the motion.
Commissioner Lowe.
Aye.
Commissioner Stanton.
Yes, in support of the motion.
Commissioner Tanayuka.
Yes.
There being 4 ayes and 2 nays, it is not a majority of the commission, and so the motion does not pass. So I believe that means that the complaint's dismissed by operation of that vote. Any other, Commissioner Tanayuka?
I'm also just wondering if it's good transparency to tell the public who all is friends with Mr. Fisher on the committee.
Here's what I'll say. I am an attorney here in the state of Texas. Mr. Fisher is an ethics attorney, and he has conducted continuing legal education courses in the past on the operation of certain state laws that I know I have attended. He has represented parties before the commission in the past. That is the extent of my interactions with Mr. Fisher. I know that other commissioners have had associations as well. I will let them speak for themselves as to the extent of their interactions with Mr. Fisher, if they want to. But again, this is something that individual commissioners decide on whether the extent to which they can impartially participate in proceedings. It's not my job to tell commissioners what relationships they might have with parties, but if those commissioners want to disclose for themselves any potential relationships or interactions or acquaintances with the respondent in the last case, they can. I'm going to say this is exceptional because we're about to start a hearing on a completely different complaint, but I will give those commissioners the opportunity now. Would anyone like to? Commissioner Lowe, go ahead.
Yes, I'm acquainted with Mr. Fisher. I'm as well an attorney. He was appointed by Rick Perry to the Texas Ethics Commission, and he was the chair for some part of that time. I worked for the Ethics Commission from November of 2017 through August 2021. He was not still on the commission at that time, but he often appeared before the commission representing parties, and also he made many requests for advisory opinions and rulemaking. I also know him through continuing legal education programs. He is currently the general counsel of the State Bar of Texas. That is not a full-time staff position. It is a position for which he assists the board of directors of the State Bar of Texas. I am employed as the disciplinary rules and referenda attorney at the State Bar of Texas.
Go ahead, Commissioner Casto.
Thank you. I have also known Mr. Fisher for several years in a professional, personal, and legal capacity. We're both members of the same section. We're both attorneys. Pretty much what you all said.
Anyone else before we, Commissioner Williams, go ahead.
I am an attorney, and I do not know. Does not exist yet.
Fair
Is
enough.
that correct?
It's correct. As I stated in my statement, yes, it is.
My question to you is whether or not Zilker 351 intends to apply to be one of those nonprofits that does vie for that opportunity.
I'm not sure that's pertinent to our discussion today because I don't know what the future is, but when I signed on as a board member, and I have to tell you, I signed on as a board member in January. They incorporated in June in the whatever it is, the organization started making decisions back then. When I came on board in January 12th, I signed up there. I was a member. And then when I was a design commissioner, I didn't realize that, I held off on my recusal because it was not publicly announced at the first design commission meeting when the Zilker Vision was going to be discussed.
Mr. Taniguchi,
I think that's kind of clear in my letter.
if I'm actually reading your response, and again, Mr. Taniguchi, in your response, it says Zilker 351 will likely apply through the city's partnership process to partner with the city at Zilker Park. But again, Zilker 351 is not the unified nonprofit referenced in the vision plan. And my question to you is whether or not you're aware of your nonprofit's attempts to profit from the vision plan.
Well, I have to just say that I would never be involved in an organization that was going to profit from anything like that. That's why I've been on the design commission for 14 years. I only hope to offer my expertise in my long time citizenry here in Austin. So, yeah, that would not be an issue.
Can we replace profit with benefit from the vision plan? Does your organization plan to benefit from the vision plan?
No, I don't think it is. it's only going to benefit from what we can add to our planning expertise and our care and love for us. No, no financial benefits.
I don't think I qualified that well enough. Let me ask a couple of more questions.
Yep.
Does your organization plan to grow from the vision plan?
Well, apparently, Zilker 351, we want to promote the growth of the Zilker Park for the community as a metropolitan park and not just kind of something, a backyard deal for whoever else wants to have their own plan. But yeah, we're gonna hopefully benefit from that for the best of Austin, though. I mean, not financially or for our own self, but it's for the best of the city. That's all I can say.
In your presentation, you
I
had
don't have any
mentioned
other questions,
an excerpt from the minutes of a board meeting. And I wanted you to read that again because I didn't quite catch it the first time and I don't think it was in the complaint. If it was, feel free to point me to it.
These are the minutes of the Zilker 351 Board of Directors meeting from February 9th, 2023. I'm just going to read the last paragraph. In general terms, the board discussed the likely functions of Zilker 351, such as creating community among the Zilker Park groups and park users, fundraising for vision plan elements, and centralizing communications between the Zilker Collective Impact Working Group organizations and the Parks and Rec Department. For now, there is no plan or intention to assume park management and operations.
Thank you for that. Mr. Taniguchi, were you able to find?
Yes, I
recall?
did.
Okay.
I did. Thank you, Chair. My request was, I am writing to request guidance on whether there could be a recusal conflict. I currently serve on the Design Commission, which will be reviewing the draft Zilker Park Vision PLan as part of the boards and commissions review this coming Monday, March the 27th. The review by the Design Commission will be on the technical merits of this vision plan and is not considering or approving recommending funding for the vision plan. I also serve on the board of a nonprofit which has a mission to honor, preserve, and enhance the natural, cultural, and recreational treasures of the 351-acre Zilker Metropolitan Park for all. This nonprofit is not taking a position on the merits of the vision plan. While I don't see a problem or conflict under the city ethics rules, since the rules state that serving on a board of a nonprofit does not create a conflict for a board member, I would appreciate your guidance on this issue.
Hearing and seeing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote in the same manner that we did the first time, where I will go in the order that the commissioners appear on the agenda. So this is on the motion to find that reasonable grounds exist to believe that a violation of city code has occurred. Chair Soberon votes aye. Commissioner Casto?
Nay.
Commissioner Williams?
I support the motion.
Commissioner Lowe?
Aye.
Commissioner Stanton, Secretary Stanton Adams?
Yes, in support of the motion.
Commissioner Tenayuka?
Yes.
There being 5 ayes, 1 nay, it's not a majority of the commission, and so the motion does not pass, and by operation of that motion, the complaint is dismissed. I want to thank the complainant and the respondent for your participation. I want to thank the members of the public for their participation and for being here so late. I want to thank commissioners for a very thoughtful and thorough discussion on both of these complaints. I think this was one of the healthier dialogues and discussions that we've had on complaints that have come before the commission. And these complaints are not easy, but I really cannot emphasize enough how much I appreciate everyone's contributions.